What's up, guys? It's your boys Wolkie back with another Chris Watts type video. But today we're going to talk about is Sandra Rzuceks, Shanann's mother, how she wrote a letter to Detective Baumhaven, about Chris and Shanann Watts and their relationship, and how she even knew it was doomed, but in a certain way aspect. Now, she says that they definitely loved each other. They definitely had their moments, but things obviously went sour as well. We've heard Cindy's side, but we want to take a look at Sandra Rzuceks herself. So grab a chair, get ready, and let's take a look at this letter that she gives to Detective Baumhaven. I'm butchering that. Baumhaven. About Shanann and Chris Watts. So, again, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you guys are new here. Make sure you guys hit the bell icon next to it so I do post videos like this one. You guys will get that little ring notification that I posted that video, and then you guys can watch, comment, like, and share. And again, I am so blessed for you guys. You guys have made this happen where now we are getting more and more professional. We're getting more and more love and support and just the overall direction that hopefully one day we'll see justice for 100% justice for Shanann, Bella, and Cece. So I can't wait to see what the future holds of this channel, and hopefully we'll see more towards this case and finally see that us junior detectives can make a difference. So with that being said, let's get into today's video. We're going to be watching Jodi Ann. I do believe I watched one of her videos before, but I definitely want to look into these letters that she has stated about what she saw, what she heard and stuff to Detective Baumhaven. I am butchering that. How do you say that? Baumhaven. That's how you pronounce that. It's pretty sad when I have to use Google English just to figure out last names. Baumhaven, Detective Baumhaven. So with that being said, let's get into the video of Jodi Ann, or Anna, and see what this letter has for us.
Thank you for coming back to my channel. First, I would like to give recognition to this beautiful woman who has went through more than any of us could even imagine.
Sandra can't talk to her daughter. Cindy can talk to her son. She can't talk to her granddaughters. Cindy might. Well, no. How do I say this? Sandra can't talk to her granddaughters physically. She can talk to them spiritually. She is very spiritual. Cindy, she's never going to be able to talk to her granddaughters, and I don't think she really cares. Now, they've joked, they've cried, they've laughed, they whatever have you. Ronnie, Cindy, and their son, they have laughed and joked and so forth. Yeah, it might be through a screen or through a phone, whatever have you. But Sandra has to spiritually talk to her daughter. Her daughter is gone. Her granddaughters are gone. But yet Cindy says that she's the one that's hurting. Sandra is probably one of the ones that are hurting the most. So that's why we do these things for Shanann, Bella, and Cece, and Sandra, and her father, and her brother. So that being said, let's continue.
She was a beautiful wife, mother, and grandmother. This is a letter she wrote to detectives regarding her daughter, Shanann.
Hopefully it doesn't make me cry.
Attention Dave Baumhaven. In 2009, Shanann built her house in Charlotte, North Carolina, battling her lupus. Her friend told her about her cousin Chris, saying he is a very nice guy, quiet, etc. So Shanann got a request from him on Facebook. Months later, she called me saying, "Mom, I met a nice guy. He is a mechanic." I said, "As long as you're happy and he is good to you." A few months after that, Shanann and Chris had a family gathering, and Frank, I, and his parents had a cookout. They were floored when they saw her house. Shanann was a hard worker and wanted this to eventually sell and make a profit. To keep doing so, eventually be mortgage-free. Comes from a family of contractors. So Shanann was eager to please his parents, waiting on them hand and foot. When Shanann left the back porch, and it was just me and Chris's mom, she leaned over to me and said, "Shanann was married before?" I said, "Yes, just like your daughter was." Then a while later again, when we were alone, and she said, "I just don't see it." I said, "What?" She said, I don't feel or see that your daughter loved my son. I knew she was going to be a thorn in my marriage because my mother-in-law was the same way. So every time we had cookouts, his mother and sister were very quiet and distant. We weren't accepted. They made that known. So
sad.
Forward to engagement party. Shanann and I shot for food, wine, etc. Spent a lot. Jamie, Chris's sister, wanted all of the invitations so she could help. So Shanann told me, Mom, Jamie wants to help send of the invitations. What do you think? She is accepting me? I'm going to let her do it. So this mom and sister prepped food and cross-contaminated everything. So Shanann couldn't eat any of it. Gluten-free, nothing. Everything was made with gluten. So thank God I made lots of food I brought. At least my daughter could eat. So as the night went on, Shanann and I went to the bathroom, and Shanann told me, Mom, I had like 80 invites, and only immediate family came. So Shanann called people the next day to learn that they never received an invite.
Wow.
Shanann was devastated. Shanann and Chris were upset, so they knew not to ask again. Then came the wedding. No one from his whole family came. Just his grandmother and uncle. No mom, dad, sister, aunts, and cousins. No one came. Chris spoiled Shanann and vice versa. They were so in love. They were a great team. They moved to Colorado and lived with Shanann's friend for 1 year while they were building their house. Everything was great. Shanann saw something on Chris's private parts that didn't look normal. They went to the doctors, cancer, so it was removed. She saved his life.
Really?
Then Shanann got pregnant with Bella Marie. Everyone was so excited and happy. Shanann and Chris were wonderful parents. Chris and Shanann were working at the Ford dealership in Longmont. Shanann was selling cars. Chris was a head mechanic. A great team. Shanann was top sales. Then Bella came, so Shanann stopped working because of a high-risk pregnancy. She was a trooper through the whole thing. Both families seemed happy. Chris's sister never flew to Colorado at any time they were out there. Cindy and Ronnie came 2 times a year. Shanann worked at Children's Hospital at nights and also sold 31 travel bags on the side. Everything was good. Shanann got pregnant with Celeste, and pregnancy was really rough on Shanann with her lupus. Very high-risk pregnancy again, but only this one was worse for Shanann. Water weight gain, severe back pain, shortness of breath, pains in her chest, fatigue, exhaustion. My husband and I sold everything but our house and moved out to live with them to help our daughter in every way we could. Frank and I had to work to pay our bills too. We were there for 15 months.
Wow.
Chris's mom came out to watch the girls for a few days while Shanann and Chris went on a business trip with Lavelle, her company, 4 nights and 5 days. During that time, we weren't allowed to see our grandchildren or even eat dinner with them as soon as we got home. She brought them upstairs and stayed upstairs. She wouldn't let us hold them or anything. I found that very odd. One day I asked her why. She said, "What the hell am I here for then?" She screamed in my face in front of my granddaughters and said that I was very controlling. I was just like, wow. I texted Shanann over and over again, and she said, "Relax, Mom. I'll take care of it when we get home." It was ridiculous. I never spoke to Chris's mom again. I'd had enough. After 15 months, I moved back home. It was hard to leave, but I felt it was for the best. I have been home now 17 months. Later, my whole family is dead. My beautiful daughter and beautiful grandchildren, all dead. Everything seemed fine. Our daughter never spoke about anything bad. She did speak to us about bankruptcy, a lot of debt, with all the medical bills. Bella and Celeste were back and forth to doctors, misdiagnosed for 2 years. I told Shanann that they had asthma and that she needed to fire that doctor. One day she went in, and the PA was there, and she diagnosed them with asthma. Finally, the girls were doing great, other than earplugs put in and girls being very allergic to tree nuts, which would have caused them death. Celeste was born with her esophagus too small. They went in 3 times to enlarge it. steroids like crazy to help her breathe for 1.5 years or longer, all until they were diagnosed with asthma. Then Shanann with her neck surgery, which out of pocket $25,000 they owed. So that's why there was so much debt. I noticed that when we would FaceTime them every night for 4 years straight, looking back starting late May 2018, when we FaceTime Chris, was putting the phone all over the room, ceiling, floor, etc. I said, Chris, are you all right? Then he would FaceTime normally. Before Shanann came to North Carolina, Celeste had a rash in her private area, and she went to get a face cloth and some cream. Chris had the phone. I said, Chris, let me see how bad it is, being that I am an aide. So I couldn't see, so I said, wait, let me move my screen because I couldn't see. He put it right on her privates. Oh, I was mad. Shanann wanted to come for 6 weeks this summer so she can introduce the girls to Chris's sister, Jamie, who never met Celeste, or Uncle Frankie, our son. Before the year started back to school, dance, classes, etc., it was the best time was now. We were thrilled. Shanann stayed the week here, then weekends with Chris's parents. The first weekend was great with Chris's dad and family. However, the following weekend was a different story. Saturday was rough for Shanann. She was protecting her children from peanuts in every form, ice cream, a bowl full of nuts and open razor blades just laying around the house. Shanann called her father, come pick me up now, please. Shanann said Cindy was trying to give the kids ice cream with peanut chips in it. Shanann asked Cindy, what kind of ice cream is that? Cindy said, oh, relax, it's just ice cream. Shanann said, please let me read the ingredients. Cindy told my daughter that she was scary, so the girls walked outside to play with Jamie, Aunt Chris's sister. So after Shanann got done explaining to Cindy how dangerous peanut allergy is to the girls, Cindy ignoring Shanann. Shanann went outside. Jamie walked in. So the girls walked back in, and Shanann walked in the kitchen, noticed a large bowl of peanuts now sitting on the table. That wasn't there 2 minutes before. So Shanann called me and explained everything. She said, Mom, I'm being double teamed. And I said, what? She told me everything. But when she told me about the razor blades, I said, what? She changed the subject really quick because my daughter knows I would have been there and caused a big scene. I love my family, protection. I said, Dad's on his way. She got home here and was beside herself. I was furious along with her that someone that you trust would try to get a child sick or die feeding them peanuts, razor blades. Shanann told 4 people this, me, Frank, Sandra, Gornda, and Nikki. She called Chris that night, and she was so upset Chris said he will handle it, so Shanann didn't ever go back again to see them. None of Chris's family came to Cece's birthday party, and Cindy sent Cece's package out to Colorado, which is still there in the box at their house. So Shanann and the girls and us had a wonderful time the rest of their trip. When Chris came here for his week here, and Shanann 6 weeks here. Shanann picked him up at the airport with girls. They were so excited to see their dad that they set off the alarm for running up to him. Chris spent the day with his parents as Shanann dripped him off at the nursing home to see his grandma. Shanann and girls came back here. Chris was acting really wired.
Weird?
I think that means weird to Shanann. He didn't have time to speak to her, and then he was going to stay because he had a storm with no street lights not working. Chris's dad brought him back here to our home. Shanann and Chris spoke on our back porch for a few hours about how he is.
You know, I just noticed too, is Shanann never said to our house or anything like that. She always said our home. Our home. Like that EVP, this is our home. It makes you like put the words you hear here and how she says things. It just, I don't know, it just really puts things in perspective.
Has been and the peanut stuff in his mom's house. Chris was distant to Shanann, okay with girls, okay with us. Shanann was vomiting all night, and Chris didn't get up to see how this was his wife. They left for Myrtle Beach, and Frank went with them for a couple of days. Being that it was our granddaughter's first time at the beach, Frank left them. I came a day and a half. The girls and I had a blast. Chris was very quiet, doing his own thing and ignoring Shanann. I said to my daughter, "Is everything okay?" She said, "Chris is Chris." So we were at the beach and we went to dinner, and Chris drove Shanann and girls. No rooms, so I drove behind them. I was doing 83 miles an hour to catch up with them and texting Shanann, "Why is he driving like that? Tell him to slow down. I'm not in a race to go to dinner at dinner." At dinner, Chris left the table quite a few times, very silent. He was ignoring his kids and wife. Cece was being funny, and he walked away again. I left the next day and came 2 days later. I asked Shanann to stay here with girls. She said Chris has good insurance for the girls. They went back home to Colorado. I'm devastated. The only reason Chris got fit was because diabetes runs high in his family, and Shanann wanted him to live forever. Sandra Rzuceks. This story is absolutely devastating, and you can clearly see and hear in this letter that this family gave their all to this man and
look what he did
loved him very much. And he threw it all away. My goal is to always remember Shanann and to not let her be forgotten, and for her story and her truth to be told, because she wasn't a bad person. Her family are not bad people. The things that are being said about them is not true. And at the end of the day, no matter what, she was murdered. Her children were murdered and disposed of in the most horrible way possible that the entire world cannot even wrap their heads around it, or most people can't. There are those people that are just pure evil that can and still want to pick apart this family, and it's terrible. So anyway, thank you for watching my video. Thank you for coming back, and I look forward to doing another one soon.
So that being said, guys, this just paints even a more bigger, darker picture of how Cindy was, how she was towards her son, how she was towards Shanann and her mother. So please comment down below. Does murder run in the family? Killer? Because it sounds like she was trying to kill her grandbabies. And that just runs in the family, I guess. But comment your guys' thoughts down below. Let me know if this even showed a bigger picture to you. This was not what I was expecting, but I'm definitely glad I watched it. Again, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one. Keep it real, keep it safe, and as always, keep nerding on, and we will see you guys in the next one.